Hi everyone, this is Dima the tutor. In this practice video, I'm going to practice together with you a couple of tasks in the section called, let's call it simply read the question and speak about the question, yeah, and answer the question orally. This is Duolingo's very interesting section. I love it. A lot of students, they don't like speaking as well as writing, because those two sections are the most challenging. I mean, in terms of your psychology, your psyche. Most of us, I don't say all of us, but a lot, at least the majority of us, have not been trained at schools or higher establishments to express yourselves fully and abundantly and eloquently, neither in speaking form nor in a written form. Yeah. So in this aspect, a lot of us face some challenge. Personally, I don't face the challenge because I have been a tutor for over 20 years, and I train people, I tutor them. Though I think that if someone classified me according to those basic psychological things, they would call me an introvert rather than an extrovert. And I guess that a lot of you are such guys. And you will say that for me it's difficult to speak even in my native language, let alone English. Yeah, I understand. However, guys, I tell you that I love Duolingo because, for instance, in this question, you have to speak for, let's say, 90 seconds. 90 seconds are not much. It's nothing. 90, it's not 9 minutes. That's why you have to change the approach, to change the premise, the initial premise that I cannot, I don't like, I would not, and all that jazz. Very often we deal with this psychological aspect, and I act not only as a tutor but as a coach for my students, and often it helps. Yes. So uh, here the basic problem, let me repeat myself for the most of you, is not probably English, but lack of creativity while answering such questions. And during our online sessions, I help guys to overcome that. Okay, so I will now answer this question and a couple of other questions without any preparation, without any concentration, without any templates or anything like that. Templates are a separate field in Duolingo. I will not now plunge deeply into them, but I will tell you that Duolingo, mostly they don't like templates. So please be very careful about them. And if your tutor recommends you those shabby beaten templates like from IELTS, they borrow something, please be very careful, because I have had a lot of instances when guys were like uncertified. Their test was uncertified because of the templates, both in writing and speaking, and they had to retake the test. So think about it. Why should you spend your precious psychic energy and be nervous and frustrated, and why? It just makes no sense. You have already a template in front of you. You see, this is the template. You have three bullet points, yeah? So those bullets, you have three bullets. Imagine that. You have maximum 90 seconds. If you speak about, on average, about every bullet for 30 seconds, it's like nothing. You produce 2-3 sentences and you are done with one bullet. Then you proceed to the second, to the third, and all is fine. Okay, what else? I have to make this philosophical preview because it's very important. Also, what else? A lot of guys, they excited, of course, and when they realize that they understand the question, which is already a paradise for them, they absolutely forget about these two last, let's say, points. Though they are recommended points for you, not mandatory. However, please think about it. It will not be a good idea to speak only about this and completely disregard these two remaining, yeah? So your score will be diminished for this. So please try to speak about all these three things. Look at the timer. If you see that you have, for example, 60 seconds left, okay, it's high time to proceed to this one, yeah? To proceed. If you see that it's already 30 seconds or 20 seconds, please mention something about this one, and you will get your normal score. Okay, by the way, yeah, one more remark. Soon, I hope that when I will satisfy the conditions and terms in YouTube, I will have some of these lessons for sponsors, you know, the sponsorship. So for some moderate price, like I don't know yet, $10 a month or $20, you will have access to these practice videos. Still, there will be enough those practice videos without any charge, without any fee. But for now, I'm joking a little. Please enjoy my practice sessions for free. They are all for free now. Okay, my friends. So let's look at this, for example, question. Talk about a virtual art gallery. Yeah? Nothing special, yes, no awful words or something like that. You have, it seems to me, 20 seconds for preparation. 20 or 30, doesn't matter much. So then you look at this one. What are some of the advantages of a virtual art gallery? Your brain catches the keyword advantages. The second, who might be interested in visiting a virtual art gallery? Just a question to make you speak something, like senseless, boring question, like in IELTS, but what can be done? So who might be interested, who likes it, yeah? And the third one, would you rather visit a virtual gallery or a real one? So in this, would you this or that, you have to take a decision within 1 second. What would you speak about? What would you favor? A virtual or a real? It doesn't matter to Duolingo, you understand? Yes, you can, you can speak about any. I will speak about real gallery. Yeah, okay. So what else? Try please to be abundant, as I say. Try to present that verbal flood, like a chatterbox. Never ever try to curtail your answer, like to fit it within 40 seconds. You will be penalized by the system for that, because you don't manifest any explicit desire to present yourself in a speaking form, you see. So it's never ever try please to speak for 35 seconds and then expect a good point, a good score. It's almost next to, it's just impossible. Okay guys, so let's speak about it. Remember, I'm speaking without any preparation, and very often when I discuss something with you, I delve into my thoughts and I can get stuck. Yes, it's not a big deal. We are all humans. So anyway, I'm sure if I take Duolingo today, for instance, I will get over 120 for the test and over 120 for my oral and written presentation. Okay, let's click retry to see the timer and speak about. I will try to speak for 90 seconds. I don't know yet what I will speak about. I will show you just how to do it. Just a moment, please. Why it doesn't want to work? I don't know why the timer has not been reset. Okay, it's not a big deal. So I will speak for about 90 seconds. Okay, speaking about virtual art galleries, I want to say that they have become an inalienable part of our lives, because everything is becoming digitalized. The whole world is globalized and digitalized. So a lot of computers, networks, neural networks and everything. And of course, it would be very unwise to expect that this digitalization would not penetrate the sphere of art. So of course there are a lot of those art galleries. The main advantage of them is that you can access any gallery with photos no matter where you are in the world. If you are sitting somewhere in Africa and you want to visit Louvre or, I don't know, some museums of Rome, you can do it in 1 second. And most of all, just what's amazing, you can do it for free. Yeah, maybe probably there are some paid virtual art galleries with those huge and high resolution photos, I don't know. But so speaking about who might be interested, I think that mostly, honestly speaking, I think that senior generation might be interested, because young people nowadays, mostly they're concerned with they're engaged in sitting in those, spending their times in social networks and so on, and to appreciate works by Leonardo or Caravaggio. So, there are some of them, probably 5 or 10%, but still people who are over 40 or something, they still remember how they were taught at schools or colleges, that beauty. So of course I think that they are prone to visiting those galleries more. And so would I rather visit this or that? Honestly speaking, I'm a huge proponent of real things. That's why if I have an opportunity, of course I would give my preference to a real art gallery. It's black and white for me and a no-brainer, because to stand near this huge canvas by Caravaggio and to become really mad at it, to lose your mind, no virtual gallery will give you this, because you just stare at a computer screen and so, and nothing special. Okay guys, you see I have answered this. Probably I have talked for over 90 seconds, but it's not a big deal. If the system, I'm sure, sees that you are speaking about the final point already, but you just been a little bit out of time, no problem. I'm sure you will not lose any point. not one just point. So let's continue. You see, I have been speaking without any preparation at all. Maybe I make some mistakes, and I don't care. You see, please be yourself, and remember that this task is only 90 seconds, and there is no topic in this world about which you could not speak. Everything is in your mind, everything is in your mindset. Try to be enthusiastic and positive, and everything will happen. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. The authors of this resource, thanks them a lot, they classify these tasks also into easy, medium, and hard. You know, honestly speaking, I am a bit pessimistic about this because any simple question here may pose a big challenge to you, yeah? Because even if you understand all words and something, you can be just stuck about what to speak about, yes? And so then you have a problem. On the other hand, some intricate and sophisticated here word combination can cause your mind to work efficiently, and you will speak beautifully about this. So this classification into easy, medium, and hard is very, very relative. Okay, so let's read. Describe someone you know who made a bad decision. Okay, such a childish question. Who was this person? What was the situation? What decision did they make, and why was it bad? You know, of course, I favor positive questions than some negative ones, because I don't like in my life to speak about anything negative. However, we have here this situation, so we have to imagine that we like speaking about bad decisions. You have to take the decision in those 20 seconds of your preparation. Yes, try please to be creative. Don't go to the bottom of the issue. Don't, try to remember to recall some real situation from your life. You can create it you can conjure up within 3 seconds something primitive. Think like a teenager of 11 or 12 years old, not like an adult mature man of 45 years old. So bad decision, for instance, the first thing that pops into my mind is that buying something, yes, which causes trouble, yes, or which you didn't need, or something like that, yes. For example, buying a used car with which you have a lot of problems. We all face those situations from time to time in our lives, especially in those countries where not a lot of people can afford buying at once those expensive new cars. So there is a huge market for used vehicles, and they buy from one another and then suffer for several years. Then they try to sell and then again buy, and so this vicious cycle goes on and on. So why not speak about that? Yeah. So who was that person who can speak of it? It was me, or it was my dad, or it was my neighbor Paul, anything. Okay, so let's speak about cars. Though I love all cars, honestly, I tell you that even if you purchase an old shabby car, it means that from above, let's say, it's the best variant for you right now. So I'm trying to never complain about this, because it's useless and detrimental. However, for Duolingo, that philosophy will do like old cars are bad, let's say so. Okay, let's click retry, but this button doesn't work today. I don't know why. Okay, let it be. So, speaking about this person, this situation, I would like to speak about my friend, whose name is Jack. And, recently he has purchased an old car, an old used vehicle. And so the decision was like that. He was advised not to purchase that car because the situation was something like he couldn't inspect it, especially from below. So he couldn't check the condition of the cabin, of the case, and of the engine, and of the electricity, and all those gadgets and so on. But he was just set on it. He was crazy. It was impossible to dissuade him from doing it. So finally he purchased the car for some moderate sum of money, and now for half a year already he's been trying to restore the car. He is not driving. But one day he's crying and whining, the other day he's happy, because this is an old but prestigious car. So when he drives once in a month, a couple of kilometers, he just, everybody looks at him in that car and wow, that's a cool guy with a cool car. So overall, of course, we can say that this decision was bad, because he invested a certain sum of money into some useless thing, which he will sooner or later resell, and also invest a couple of additional thousands of dollars into it. But I see that the person is happy, so this concept of being bad is very relative in this case. And honestly speaking, I approve of his decision, because if you have something to do in the garage all day long, you are happy by default. Okay, you see, my friend, so I twisted it a little bit, so I wasn't stuck only like I didn't stick to, let's say, to this like concept of bad. I philosophized a bit and I tried to make that concession. So probably it wasn't so bad. Probably it was also very good. Okay, and let's look at one more and finish for today. You see, they claim that it is hard. Describe a famous work of art. What kind of art is it? What does it mean to you? What do you know about the artist? Okay. So for me personally, it's very pleasant and engaging to speak about works of art, because I love art, visual arts and music and everything. A couple of years of my life I started painting myself, not myself, by myself, yes, and so I watched a lot of programs about Leonardo, Caravaggio, Velasquez and all those real geniuses, Raffaello, and so the only thing which can pose some challenge here is the vocabulary. Yeah? So you please be careful. If you commence speaking about something real and you wanna be like authentic, real and serious, remember that you will have to use some terms. If you don't remember them, please try to avoid those bottlenecks, you see? So those dangerous places, because otherwise you can freeze for several seconds, and those pauses are the worst thing which you can do during your presentation. So please try to speak fluently and coherently, smoothly, you see, no pauses, only in case if you are showing explicitly that just within 1 second you are gathering like your power and now you will produce a big masterpiece, then yes. But most of you will not produce masterpieces because you will be excited and nervous and so on. That's why try to avoid pauses. It's number one. No, maybe number two. Apart from that speak please for 90 seconds, not less. No, it's even maybe number one. It's more important. It's paramount to your success. So, okay, let's describe a famous work. I love Caravaggio, but I don't remember the names of his works in English, especially. Oh my God. So, in this case, of course, you can speak about Leonardo's Mona Lisa or anything, Raffaello's. Oh my God. So, Caravaggio. Oh, I remember his famous Still Life. There was a genuine Still Life which featured some apples and pears and grapes just in some basket on the table. Caravaggio mostly painted not still lifes but people, but the still life is considered one of the greatest masterpieces ever created by human mind. So okay, let's speak about this. Okay, imagine that I have reset the timer because it doesn't reset here. I don't know why. So okay, a famous work of art. Oh, I'm crazy about art, honestly, especially about visual arts, and my favorite probably of all times, a great genius, just one of the greatest who has ever trodden this planet, is Caravaggio. Caravaggio painted a lot of canvases, and I will speak now about one of his still lifes. So that still life features some apples, pears, and those grapes strewn in a basket standing on some table. When Caravaggio was still very young, he painted this, and it's still considered one of the greatest works of art ever. It's probably, it seems to me that some museum wanted to purchase it from another museum and they wanted to pay for like 100 or 200 million dollars or 300 million, but they rejected because it's a great masterpiece. And the more you look into it, the more you begin to feel those goosebumps, because your mind cannot conceive how a person's genius can embrace such scope of beauty. I don't even know how to express it. So to me personally, it means a lot. It means that a human mind is capable of all feats that it can ever conceive. Yeah. What do you know about the artist? So Caravaggio is still one of the greatest masters of art who has ever lived, and so a lot of his works, they were lost, unfortunately, and some of them were ruined by some barbarians, I don't know. So he lived a very short and like aggressive and full of negative events life, and still he's the best, I think. To me personally, this is the greatest genius of visual art. Okay, you see something like that. I don't know, maybe 90 seconds or maybe even more, but it doesn't matter. So you see, I have For me personally, it's not. It's very easy to speak about art because I love it. Yeah, but sometimes uh, it may pose a challenge, as I have told you already. I mean, in terms of vocabulary. Please, like, be prepared to feel it's a separate art, and you should practice it with your tutor to feel prematurely and beforehand those bottlenecks which you have to evade. It's a great art of eloquence, that not to make pauses, because your pause in your speech indicates that you have some problems. At least the system will comprehend it like this, in this fashion. So you have to practice, guys. Okay, it's already like 20 minutes that I have been talking here. You please practice also by yourself. Think about what you would say about these famous works of art and all that jazz, and think about those advices which I gave you. If you need some professional assistance, please, you're welcome to contact me. The details are in the description to this video. So I wish you success at Duolingo and see you in our next videos.